The movie begins with a little girl named Penny who enters an animal shelter. She becomes fond of a small white puppy playing with a carrot, so she decides to adopt him and puts a collar on him with his new name, Bolt. 5 years later, Penny answers a phone call and finds her mother on the line, sounding frightened. Her mother tells her there's a problem at work and that she can't return home. She also tells Penny that Bolt can protect her, as he has undergone experiments that gave him superpowers. Penny takes Bolt and watches the company from afar using binoculars. She sees a video of a man named Doctor Calico, who is holding her mother captive. One of his men asks him to confess, and Dr. Calico tells him to bring something that will force the doctor to talk. Penny follows the man until he suddenly disappears. Then, a car shows up and tries to kidnap her. But Bolt runs at the car so fast that it flips over just by touching him. He grabs the car and lands on a bridge. Penny asks the driver where Dr. Calico is keeping her mother. The driver, frightened, confesses that she's in Bolivia. Penny escapes on a scooter with Bolt while being chased by planes and motorcycles sent by Calico to capture her. Bolt uses his superpowers to fight off Calico's agents and save Penny. However, their large numbers allow them to surround the pair. At that moment, Bolt uses his powerful super bark and defeats them all. When Penny and Bolt get into their car, it turns out everything that happened was just a scene being filmed for a TV series. The director begins reviewing the footage and gets angry when he discovers a microphone appeared in the shot. He explains to his assistants that he hates reshooting the dog scenes because Bolt genuinely believes he has superpowers. If he ever discovers the truth, his performance won't be the same, and the audience won't find it believable. The producer yells at him, telling him that all that matters is keeping viewers from changing the channel no matter how it's done. Otherwise, he'll be fired. In the dressing room, Penny thanks her dog, who still believes he's a real superhero. She puts food out for him, plays with him for a bit, hugs him, and then leaves. She tries to convince her mom and her manager to let her take the dog home, but the manager refuses because he's afraid Bolt might discover he doesn't have any powers. Meanwhile, two cats appear and talk about Bolt, saying he never leaves the filming set. They peek through an opening in the ceiling and tell him they'll soon reach his owner, Penny, and defeat him. Bolt responds by warning them that they've chosen the path of evil, which will only lead to their destruction. One of the cats tells him that the green-eyed man has a plan and will carry it out, and he'll kill the girl. They leave, and the crew resumes filming another scene with Bolt under the director's close supervision. In the final shot, Dr. Calico, with his green eyes and pet cat, appears and kidnaps Penny. The scene ends, and the director tells the producer that he left the show's ending open so they can make a sequel. At that moment, Penny runs after Bolt, who was placed in a box, trying to reassure him that she's fine. But her manager stops her, saying the dog must continue believing she's in danger so that his performance stays emotional and convincing. In the dressing room, the two cats sneak in through the ceiling, and Bolt escapes and runs toward the filming set. He hears Penny's voice calling for help and follows the sound, which turns out to be coming from the editing room. He tries to jump out the window, but he hits the glass, falls into a cardboard box, and loses consciousness. A worker finds the box, seals it, and loads it into a delivery truck that drops it off at a storage area. Bolt escapes as soon as the worker opens the box, and he runs into the street. He sees a man reading a newspaper and thinks he's Dr. Calico. He tries to use his superpowers to destroy a fence, but nothing happens. Confused, he passes through an opening and approaches the man, only to realize it's someone else. Frightened, he runs off until his head gets stuck in a garden fence. A small pigeon stands in front of him and calls her friends for help. They assist him in getting his head free. Bolt asks them if they know the man with green eyes, but they don't recognize him and say Bolt looks strange to them. The pigeon tries to remember where she saw him before, and just then, a bus passes by with an advertisement for Bolt's TV show with his picture on it. Still, she doesn't recognize him. Bolt asks if they know any cats so he can ask them about the green-eyed man. They decide to take him to a cat they know. We then see a cat named Mittens. A pigeon comes to her and offers her food she collected throughout the day. Mittens complains that the food isn't enough and says when she's hungry, she eats whatever she can find.